Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate this season. I hope that you have a very special holiday. This morning we are doing our Casing Tuesday card just as normal. My son is home from college and I was hoping he would get a chance to make a card with me, but he wasn't able to, so I'm still hoping to do it next week because he's here for 2 more weeks. And so he'll be here next Tuesday. So I'm hoping to still get him to stamp with me. We just had a really busy week and he wasn't able to make a card yet. So I love Casing Tuesday so much because it has a base. We start off with a card. Let me show you this week's card. Oh, shoot. Let me. Oh, okay. So, sorry. This week's card, I need to actually. I'll just switch the scenes and I've got them loaded up on a different spot than I normally do. Okay, here is this week's card. And this card is very busy. We've got a lot of layers going on. But the good news is we can simplify the layers a little bit like I've done in my card. And I'll show you how I did my card in a moment. And this is the sketch for this week. Now you don't have to include that circle in there. I omitted that, and I actually also omitted that little layer in the background that's on an angle. So I basically simplified the whole card a little bit and gave it a much cleaner look. So I think you'll like it, and I think it is an easy sketch to work with once you take some of those layers out. And I also this week I'm starting to show some product from the upcoming catalog. So if you're a customer, you're not going to be able to get these products yet, but we're about a week away from being able to get them. So I thought we can start to show them now so you can kind of start seeing products that you can get. They will start to be available on January 3rd. And the good thing is January 3rd is also the start of our celebration catalog. So when you purchase, you will be able to get, with every $50 or $100 you spend, you get to pick a product out of the celebration catalog. So that is super cool. All right, I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you the card I have for today. And I'm hoping everyone can hear me okay. Let me get rid of these. Okay. And I also, Ecamm Live, which is my the software that I use to stream from, just added a brightness feature to the camera. So I've been able to brighten this scene up for you, which I love because this camera was filming really dark and it didn't matter how much light I put on it, it just wasn't brightening up. So I think this is a lot brighter than I usually have it on the downward scene. So here is my card that I made today, and you will see it's a lot more simplified. I don't have the circular layer and I don't have that crooked layer in the background. I just love this new bundle. It's called Under My Umbrella, and it comes with a stamp set and a punch. And this is the it's the Umbrella Builder Punch. It punches out this umbrella, and the handle for the umbrella. So it's kind of cool. And so we're going to do some stamping and some punching, and I'm going to show you how you can stamp to help with your placement and then stamp again to create these umbrellas to cover up some things I've done in the background that I don't want people to see. So this layout looks very simple, but it's got some little things to it that I want to show you. So let me start off by showing you how I did this background. So you'll start with a piece of 3¼ by 4" piece of cardstock. We'll take our Memento ink pad and we're going to start off by stamping the little boots in the corner. You want it, I'm going to stand up so I don't stick my head in the camera. You want it pretty close to the corner. So I'm kind of eyeballing. It's about 1/4 of an inch from the side and the bottom. This one's a little bit closer to the bottom than this one, but you just want to make sure you get it down in that corner. Then we're going to take this umbrella, and even though we're going to stamp it again and punch this, I want to use this as a guide to stamping and where I'm going to place everything. So I'm going to stamp this umbrella up top here in the top corner. And I want this little handle to be tucked behind this umbrella. When I was positioning it out, the umbrella, if I stamp it, the handle, if I stamp it right on the edge like this, it sticks out funny on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this handle about 1/2 inch up like that. So it looks kind of funny right now, but I'm going to cover this piece up in a second. And then I'm going to take my second umbrella. I want to stamp it fairly close to the other one, but I want to also make sure the hook portion of that umbrella stays within the range of the umbrella that I'm stamping. Let me show you. So you can see actually it came out just a bit, but my punch line is going to cover that up because the punch is just a little bit bigger than the stamp. So I want this umbrella to cover up this cane piece. Okay, so now that we've got our layout stamped, oh, one more thing I want to do, I want to show you. I'm going to lengthen this cane. The part of the cane that you don't see is going to be covered up by the greeting. So I'm going to stamp this down like this. Okay, and then I'm going to lengthen it by stamping it one more time right on top of each other. So let's get that stamped. So you can see this part right here is going to be covered up by my greeting, and then you'll see this little hook of the umbrella sticking out below that. So right now it looks like a hot mess, but it will get a lot better. Good morning, Carol and Karen. I'm so glad you've joined me this morning. So I'm just showing the layout of how I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to do some punching. I'm going to use the 2018-2020 in colors, and I'm going to miss these colors when they leave us next year. We'll have them for the spring and then they'll be gone, and I'm going to be sad because I love these bright primary colors. If you don't already have Pineapple Punch, Grapefruit Grove, Lovely Lipstick, Call Me Clover, and Blueberry Bushel, you should get them. They're such pretty colors. They're bright, they're not too dark, and I am going to miss stamping with them. So, okay, so we're going to stamp the umbrella. Let me do it on this side. I'm going to try and find a piece of the pattern that it's kind of somewhat symmetrical. I'm going to stamp the umbrella right over top of this paper, and that will give my punched piece a little bit of a pattern to it. Let's see, trying to find kind of a symmetrical so that it looks good once it's punched. And then I'll take my little punch and stick it in here. Make sure it looks centered. That's good. And there's my one piece. And let me grab this one, center it. Okay, and there's my second piece. And we still need our ink pad. I'll bring it out in a second. And now when we add these on here, I'm going to try and make sure I cover up that little hook on the bottom there. I don't want to see that. And then this one right here. And then we'll have the greeting that will cover up that piece. All right, so let me just scoot these aside for a moment and let's color the boots. I'm using Pineapple Punch Dark, and this color also will be retiring. It's such a bright yellow. You'll want to make sure you get the Stampin' Blend before it disappears next year. This one's so nice. It's like such a bright, it's like a neon yellow almost. So it's kind of cool. Come back down here and do just a little bit of shading just with the dark. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with the Night of Navy light and use the bullet tip just on the top portion of the boot and the bottom sole. Okay. All right, it's starting to come together. And then I'm going to stamp my greeting. And I'm using a piece of 2 1/4 inch by 3 1/4 inch. And I'll take this little greeting. I love this greeting. No matter the weather, we're friends forever. That's a really cute greeting. I love that sentiment. Oh, perfect. Sometimes things aren't so perfect, so I do make mistakes too. So remember, if you're stamping, you always have the back side of cardstock if you're doing a greeting on a little piece of cardstock, so you can flip it over and try one more time to get it right. And if you're still struggling with getting greetings centered and straight, practice. Use some practice paper, or stamp your sentiment and find a punch where you can punch something out. But a lot of times it just takes a little bit of practice to get things right. All right, let's start. I'm trying to think if we can start assembling this. Yeah, let's go ahead and assemble it. We're going to use some dimensionals to pop these little umbrella pieces up. They look really cool being up a little bit off the handle, so it gives it just that little pop for the umbrella. That's why it's so handy to have this as a punch. You don't have to fussy cut this out to give it dimension. All right, so now I'm going to do the it's called Grapefruit Grove first, so I can get it positioned. Now this one, because I did the handle and it's coming off, I want to make sure that I go kind of low on it. So I want to make sure I cover it up. There we go. Looks so pretty. I love all the colors in that paper, so you could use like the green or the lovely lipstick too if you don't like Grapefruit Grove. I think yellow, or in this case Pineapple Punch, is like a very traditional umbrella or rain gear colored color for rain gear, so it works really well. And then this, if you can do this one right now, provided you don't stick it out too far, because when you're going to add this on here, you don't want it sticking out beyond the edge of the card. So this is going to cover up my little hook, right? So that's looked like a hot mess, but now I'm covering up everything that didn't need to be seen. So I think that looks pretty good right there. Okay, so that is my focal point. We'll add the sequins in just a bit. Let's get the card all set up. We've got a couple more things that make up the card. So I've got a piece of Blueberry Bushel. It is a great blue. I love that it's not too dark, but it's got that deep intensity. It's a perfect blue for card bases. And this is an 11" by 4 1/4 inch piece. And then I scored it in half at the 5.5" mark. So that is my card base. You can use a bone folder if you want to help, smooth down that fold and make it so it lays flat while you're working with it. And then I just took a piece of designer series paper from that same pack, and this piece measures 2 by 5.5 inches. You can use either side, but I like the gingham a little better because it's a little lighter, so it shows up in the background a little better. And you want to make sure this is maybe about 1/4 inch from the left side, 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch, somewhere along there, because you need enough room to put this layer over without it coming off the card. So then you'll put some Tombow on the back of this one and adhere it. And this one is coming maybe not quite an inch off the bottom. So I'm just trying to find a spot for that to settle down. And then these adhesive back sequins are great because they're very subtle. They're neutral and subtle, and I'm going to use this little guy from my Take Your Pick tool. Let's see how this works. And we'll just take some of these sequins. I've stuck them in a little zippy bag so they don't go all over the place. And I'll just pick out like some different colors. They're very light, so some of them look kind of similar. So let's see if I can pick this up with my little spatula here. Okay. And then I'll just put one maybe around there. And then, okay, you guys all want to stick together. And then this one, come over here. It always looks good to do groupings of 3. Odd, okay, I just lost my little adhesive backing, so let me grab this one. Odds look good together, so that's why I have a little grouping of 3 up here, and then I'm going to have a single one down here at the bottom. Okay, so there is the embellishment for the card. And I love these adhesive back sequins because they blend in very well for the card, and they don't overtake the card. They're just nice, subtle, and I don't have to stick any adhesive on the sequins because they've already got adhesive backing on them, so that makes it really nice. So there is my little card and my little sneak peek. So the Under Umbrella bundle will be available on January 3rd, and it's just such a cute little springtime stamp set. Very cute greetings. Hello, sunshine. It's your day. Life showers bring love's flowers. Rain or shine, you're always on my mind. It's just a nice, sweet little bundle, and I love the umbrella theme in this, and I love having punches because punches are really nice and fast, and they're nice to hold in your hand. You can move a little bit more quickly than you can with dies, so these are always great when you're paper crafting to have on hand. It's so nice that we have this now in a bundle. All right, let me move back to my other camera. There I am. Let me see. Oh, and good morning to Amy. And thank you, Karen. I'm so glad you like the card. I hope you guys are all ready for Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas or the holidays. Tonight, my family, in the German tradition, we celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. I guess it's kind of more... It's always been this way in my family. They celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. So we'll be doing some celebrating tonight. And today we're going to go see a movie with our son. And then later on, we'll have a little dinner and we'll open up some gifts tonight. But we're going to just have like kind of a mellow day. It's so nice just to spend time with our son. It's been great over the past week. It's just been wonderful having him here and just getting to know him more as an adult than when he was a high schooler. So thank you, Karen. Karen just said that I do beautiful work. Thank you. The nice thing with Casing Tuesday is I've always said I hope you join us on our Facebook group, is that it does give us a starting point. So you don't have to like start from scratch. You look at the sketch, you look at the card, and then you substitute things out. So, this is something I did yesterday. I designed the card yesterday and I blogged it. And the nice thing is that it is really quick. Sometimes it's a little harder than others, but this time it was really easy to create a card and come up with the idea. So it's just a nice way, and it's nice also that we have a place to share our cards on the board, and everyone will get a chance to play and comment, and so that's the cool thing about it. Karen says we celebrate Christmas Eve too. The Feast of the Seven Fishes. Well, I have never heard of the Feast of the Seven Fishes, but this is something that we've just always done growing up. This is what my parents would do. They would, we'd go to church, and when we came back from church, Santa Claus had arrived at our house and dropped off gifts for us a little early. And so, yeah, we didn't have to wait till Christmas morning. It happened at Christmas Eve. And we would have we'd have a very casual sort of Christmas Eve dinner. We'd always have something very simple because my mom would be busy, and then we'd go to church, which would normally be the time when you would cook. Like, I think the service probably was around dinner time, like so when we got home, we'd be hungry. So she would just make some German sausages really quick and on some really nice German type bread or buns, and we would have that. And then we have something called a bunte Teller. And bunte, if in German, means colorful, and Teller is plate. And you would have a plate, and you would put your Christmas baked goods out on the plate. So we would have, Spritzgebäck, which is those cookies that you squeeze through that little machine with looks like a gun. You squeeze it through. We'd have that, and my dad would also my dad liked to bake, would make macaroons, those coconut cookies, and then we would have some cookies from Germany. My grandmother would usually send some things from overseas. And we had a German delicatessen, so we would have some things from there as well. And we just have a plate, and that would be kind of like the thing that we would have on Christmas Eve. It was a lot of fun. So anyway, I hope you have a great holiday with your family. Spend time with them, and I hope everyone will have a happy, cheerful holiday. I know for some of you it's hard, and it's not an easy time of year, and my heart goes out to you if that's the case, and I hope that you can make the best of it just to get through it, and then I hope we get to the other side, and we start the year fresh and new, and hopefully with a lot of cheer in our hearts. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. I just hope that you're safe and happy and loved. All right, I will see you next Tuesday. I'll be doing a casing Tuesday, and I hope my son will be able to join us then, and you'll get to meet him on camera. That would be really cool. Take care, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.